I'm Dr. Brian Ardis. I'd like to welcome you to our clinic. You're either at home watching this on the internet or you're watching this video in my waiting room waiting for your clinician to do your examination. Either way, we're very excited that you're here. Most likely, you've been referred here by a friend, a family member who have benefited already from some of the therapies we offer in our office. So we are glad you are here either way. In a minute, we're going to demonstrate for you what you're about to experience in our physical examination. There's a portion of our exam that a lot of patients have questions about. So in order to answer those questions, we want to give you those answers before you even come in. It'll make it a lot smoother for you. It'll answer a lot of your questions and you won't leave confused or have any of those questions unanswered when you leave. So that's what we're going to demonstrate here. The purpose of our office is to help you uncover the root causes for your conditions. There is always a reason why the body experiences symptoms. There is a reason, there is a cause for that stress. This is what your family and your friends have already experienced, us helping them unlock those questions. Some of those things that we're going to answer here are going to involve 7 primary things that we're going to be looking for that could be creating your problems. 1 is food allergies, 2 is infections, 3 is heavy metals, 4 is toxic chemicals, scar tissue can hinder the body's ability to feel normal. Also there's emotional stress and structural stress, which could be misalignments of the spine creating stress on your nervous system. That's more of a chiropractic issue. Either way, any of these 7 things can create your scenarios most likely, and it's very often that we can uncover what's causing your stress. Every time a patient comes to our office, I'm going to ask them in our consultation what you're about to experience. What do you believe is causing your headaches? The answer is usually they don't know. They've either been diagnosed with migraine headaches, cluster headaches, tension headaches, sinus headaches, and then they've been given a drug to handle that medically. Then my question to them is, well, if you've been given Tylenol or Advil or Imitrex for your migraines, these types of different drugs, my question to them is, do you believe your headaches are actually caused by a lack of that drug? Because when you take the drug, the headache goes away. Then of course they say, no, that's not the problem. But that most likely is not why you have a headache. It isn't because your liver stopped producing Advil or Tylenol. There is something wrong with the body, and your symptoms are signals to you that something is wrong. So we like to uncover what's causing the headache so you can live symptom and headache free in the future. Most of our patients have the exact same questions, so we have to repeat and go through those each time that you're here. Today, I would like to actually have those answered before you come. Hopefully it'll make it a more enjoyable experience for you and we can cover as much information as we need about your personal health issues. That's really the purpose of this video. So we're going to demonstrate to you here in just a minute how we actually do our testing, and then we're going to show you what and answer those questions that you might be experiencing. We're excited that you're here, and we hope that you are. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have you lie on your back for me, Stephanie. I want you to lie with your head up here and your feet down here on your back. Now, most people, when they come to the office, they have no idea what muscle testing is, so I'm going to explain to Stephanie how it works here, and then we're going to demonstrate what you can expect to experience here in just a minute. Every muscle in your body does one of 3 things. They contract or shorten, they stretch and elongate, and then there's what's called the neurological locking mechanism of a muscle. These are all controlled by your brain. Your brain controls everything that goes on in your body. So what we're trying to determine is your brain communicating with your body the way that it should when I do this test. So first what we're going to do with you is we're going to have you raise your arm up straight up in the air, just like this. You stick your arm straight up in the air and point it towards a spot on the ceiling. Good. Now once you do this, what I'm going to do is I want you to not resist me. I don't want you pushing back this way against me. I don't want you letting your arm go weak to your side. I want you to keep your arm straight up in the air just like that. With every muscle, if it has this locking mechanism, it should automatically resist a person when they go to push against a muscle. You can do this with any muscle. We're just going to pick on the arm out of convenience for me, because you're on the table, arms up in the air. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the deltoid muscle, which is the shoulder muscle. You're going to hold your arm straight up in the air there. I'm going to apply a very gentle force, it's not real hard, down towards the foot, and I want to see that muscle automatically resist me. It's not any different than what muscles do when you're standing still erect. When you stand straight up in the air, your brain, you don't have to think about what it takes to stand there. You don't have to think about what it takes to get balanced. Your brain just controls it automatically. But if you closed your eyes and actually visualized, what does it feel like to stand here? You will feel your body sway forward, backward, left and right, and you will feel every different muscle group in your body twitching, trying to resist the forces of gravity and wind. But you don't think about it. These are just things that the body automatically does. The brain controls this automatic locking mechanism. So we're going to demonstrate what that's like here. So we first want to determine, does the body lock against a force? If it does that, then we want to see also then, if it will automatically resist me, will it also unlock and release? And there's several areas of the body that will release when we touch them. Okay, so here we go. I want you to hold your arm straight up in the air there. I'm going to apply a real gentle force or pressure. Good. Now, it's real light, just like you saw here. We're going to push real light. Her arm did not move. It stays right here. We just applied a real gentle force this way. Her arm did not move down towards her body. It did not go up against the wall. She didn't throw me against the wall. The deltoid muscle you can feel just resisting me. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply it again, real gentle. Now what I'm going to do is there's 2 acupuncture points on your body. One right between the eyes, one at your belly button, that if I cover them with a specific part of my hand, it should shut off your brain's control of these muscles to do this reflex. So what I want to see is, does it relax and release like it's supposed to? Okay?
Okay.
Good. All right, so I want you to hold that there. Good. We're going to take my hand here, find the belly button. I'm going to put my hand over it, and it should relax and go weak, which it does. So I'll show that again. This locks good. Put my hand over here, and it goes weak. Perfect. It's exactly what it should do. It should relax and release. This actually tells me as the doctor that I can test you and that your immune system is in a position where it can heal. Because for me, I want to know that the body can get better if I actually am going to do any therapies with you. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually see if the acupuncture point between your eyes will do the same thing. Now, if I put the back of my hand up against an acupuncture point between your eyes, just like this, and then flip it over, one of these reflexes should allow that acupuncture point to create a release to this lock. So I want to see, will it lock strong in one position, either hand down or hand forward, and then I want to see, will it relax on the other one. One should stay strong, one should relax. So let's see. Good. So I'm going to put back of my finger here. That stays strong. There's no movement, so I'm going to turn the finger over, and that goes weak. That is called calibration. Feel that?
Yes.
Good. So now we know the body will lock against a force. It will also relax when it's supposed to. Now that we know we can test her, I want to see, will areas of her body, when I come to them, we're going to actually test acupuncture points over the body, and we're going to press on them. And I want to see what happens. Where does the brain focus its attention of energy and focus when I test each area of her body? We're going to demonstrate how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to apply it to different parts of her body. Every time I touch her, I'm going to test this locking mechanism to see, does it stay strong? When I come to an area of stress, let's just say, for instance, she has high cholesterol. Most likely that's going to be a liver condition. So if I come to her liver and I press over the right side of her lower rib cage here, and I press there and then test the arm, it should go weak because there's going to be stress on the liver. That's not a normal thing to have high cholesterol levels. So what we're going to see is what areas of her body go weak when we test them. And once we figure out which areas go weak, then we're going to show you what we're going to look for. So let's just do an example here about what you're going to see in just a minute. So we're going to do a generalized body scan. Every organ in the body is going to be evaluated. Every sinus cavity, every muscle group, wherever your symptoms are, whatever it is that you're presenting with, we want to know what is creating stress there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go over every part, starting with the brain. We're going to test every area here, and when I apply pressure to these areas, I want to see, does the arm resist me like it's supposed to? Like it was originally when she lay down. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through here, and what we're going to look for is what areas go weak. Now let's just say that she has heart disease. I'm going to have her take her right hand here. As we go through the scan, I'm going to put it onto her heart, right over her breast. We're going to apply pressure here, and the arm will go weak, especially if they have heart disease. There is stress in that area. When that goes weak, all it tells us is that something is wrong with that organ. It doesn't tell us what's wrong with it, it just tells us something's wrong. Me as the practitioner, I want to know what's creating stress on that organ. Once we figure out if there's 1, 2, or 3, or 4 areas that are stressed in the body, I then want to know what is the most stressed area of those 3 or 4 areas. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 fingers and we're going to put them together. I'm going to take her middle finger, stick it inside the crease of her thumb, and we're going to have her hold her arm just like she did originally. But if you remember in the original scan, there's 3 or 4 areas that are going to go weak, whatever they might be, if it's the heart, the liver, the small intestine, whatever it might be. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to those same areas that were weak, and I want to know which one only is weak. That is called the priority. So we want to see what's the primary or the most stressed organ in the body. The body is an amazing system. Everything is connected. So I want to know which one organ is struggling the most to create more stress on the other areas. Because once we start handling that area, typically the rest of the system gets better. So this is what we're going to determine. Which one's the most stressed? Now if she has heart disease, most likely the heart's going to go weak. We'll go back and check the liver, her small intestine, those will stay strong. And then what we're going to see is that the heart's the most stressed organ. So Stephanie, the heart's the most stressed organ. Now what we want to see is what in the world is creating stress on your heart? It's one thing just to give you a medication to actually address the symptoms, but what's actually causing the stress on your heart? Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
I would like to know, because then I know how to help you. All right, so now we know that your heart is the most stressed organ in the body, and I want to know why. So what we have are some kits that are going to help us figure out what's creating the stress on your heart. And it really could be one of 7 things. There's food allergies we're going to test for, infections, toxic chemicals, heavy metals, scar tissue, emotional stress, and structural stress, which would be a chiropractic issue. But what we're going to use first is we have these kits, and I'm going to introduce you to these kits so you know what you're going to be exposed to here. These are the kits that help us analyze what is actually in the heart to create stress on that system. We have food allergies here, infections, all 4 major types, viral, bacterial, fungal, and parasitic. These are all things that we're looking for to see if those are creating stress there. We also have other kits over here. We've got kits that have heavy metals, toxic chemicals. We've got major food allergies and environmental allergies just displayed here. And then these are our kits of products that help us actually determine what would be the solution to help us remove whatever barriers are actually creating stress on your body. So we're going to demonstrate how we actually figure this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to, Stephanie, take these kits here, and at one at a time, I'm going to take this kit and lay it on your body, one side down. So we're going to take the food allergies first and lay them here.
Okay.
We're going to bring your arm back up here. We'll make sure that that muscle locks. We're going to hold that there. Good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to test each of these stress kits against the one organ that was the most stressed. So I want her right hand back on her left breast here. Good. Now what we're going to do is, now that we've got the kit on her body, I want to see what creates a change at this weak reflex. This was weak a second ago, so now we want to see what makes it go strong. So we test food allergies. Now food allergies create the same response. It goes weak just like it did a minute ago. So now we want to see, well, is it an infection? So we're going to lay it down here. Now this is just for example purposes. So let's just say it is a virus or a bacteria. That will stay completely strong, and it will resist me automatically like it did to all the other organs that were actually healthy or not stressed. So now the question is, if it's an infection, which infection is it? So what we're going to do is, we've got 4 different types. So what I'm going to do is take out the bottles here, and I'm going to lay just the funguses here. I knew it was one infection because it created a change, but which one? I don't know. I'm going to take the kits aside, lay these vials here, and I want to see, is it the fungal infection vials that made the change to this reflex? And fungus goes weak, so that's not the issue. So we're going to take those aside, put those in the kits. We're going to go to viruses. So now we're going to take our virus vials, lay them here. Let's see if this is what created the change. And it is. So we know that the virus, let's say this makes the muscle go strong. We know that she has a virus in her body. It's not just in the heart, it's in her entire body, but it's creating stress on the heart more than any other organ. So then once we figure out what's actually creating the stress, and we would continue with the rest of the kits until we find something that makes this weak reflex go strong. Once we figure out what is creating the stress, I am now going to look for the solution. This is where I get to learn as a clinician whether or not I am the one that can help you, or whether or not we need to refer you somewhere else. So we're going to see what tools we have in our office to help you solve the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We know it's a virus. So then I'm going to come over here to my kit of solutions. These are our standard processed products. They're all whole food, vegetable-based products. And we're going to take products that work to help our bodies kick up their immune system to help us remove a virus from the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, just for example, this is a product. I'm going to lay it on her body just like I did with the kits. And we're going to lay it here, and I want to see, does it create a change to the stressed organ? This should also, if it makes an improvement in the health of that organ, should also make this weak reflex now go strong. So let's see if this makes a difference for you.
Okay.
If it does, then I know if I start supplying her with this product, her body's own immune system will actually start to repair that system. And then all her symptoms will disappear shortly.
Great.
So here we go. We're just going to test this product to see if it does. We're going to demonstrate that goes weak, so we know that this product is not what's going to benefit her. It did not improve the state or the strength of her body, so I don't want her taking this. So then we would go back to our other products, and we're going to see. Let's just try another one here that works well for viruses, and let's just see. This one's called Thymex, just out of an example. Let's see if this helps remove the virus. And it stays strong, so I know that if I feed her this product, I know that it's going to make an improvement. Now there are some questions though that I need to have answered, and you need to have answered before you get here. Everyone has the same questions when we do this muscle testing. One, how does it work when you lay a product on the body? How does it actually make a change? How do you know that that's right for me? Well, we know from the testing, it creates a change. But for myself, I wanted to know when I learned this muscle testing, how does it work by laying a bottle on the body to see that it works. Now, I'll relax your arm there for me. The bottles, though, the way that this works is every living thing on the planet has energy. That energy extends from the body, we know, about 2 feet. If you want to see it, it's actually demonstrated in a type of photography called Kirlian photography. They can actually demonstrate that there's these energy patterns that actually exist from every living thing on the planet. It extends 2 feet away from the body. If you take another living substance, these are all whole food, vegetable-based products, not cooked. If I lay them inside that energy field, the body will pick up on it. And if it improves or strengthens the energy of that organism, it will go strong and it will improve the energy. It enhances it, which is great. If it doesn't, like the other product we just demonstrated, it will create a weakness because it doesn't improve anything. So why would we use it? So how does it work through the bottles, though, was the next question I had in learning this. Because coming from a medical background, it was very hard for me to actually wrap my head around this kind of testing, right? Well, every living thing has energy, like I explained, but energy can travel through substances. In fact, if you have a light bulb, the actual light or electrical current that's going through the 2 wires in the light bulb is sitting inside of a glass container, but the light, which is an energy, transfers right through the light bulb to illuminate a room. When you're standing in front of a window, all of us have stood in front of a window and felt the heat from the sun penetrating the window and touching our skin. So we have all experienced and felt energy moving through glass and have experienced it. It's no different than taking a supplement, having it in a glass bottle, and laying it on the body. The body will pick up on that energy that's being extended from that food, and it will actually enhance the stressed area of the body. So then we know this is what the body needs. So once we figure out what the body needs and which products they test for, we then can put together a protocol to actually help you improve the state of your health.
Okay.
When we do that is when your symptoms all go away. Now that we know how the actual testing works when you lay a bottle on the body and you see how it actually makes a change, there's 2 questions we're wanting to answer with every patient. One is, what's creating the stress on the body? In her case, or just for this example, there's a virus stressing her heart. Then number 2 is, if we can eliminate the virus from the body, what does it take? So we've got the products that we now know will remove it. But the second part of the healing process is, does the heart itself need improvement? Do we need to actually nourish the heart or provide nutrients to the heart itself that help it function better to improve its health? Because if we can, for example, if Stephanie suffered with headaches, 90% of all headaches are caused by heart stress. Well, let's just say she's had a chronic problem with a viral infection in her heart for years that's giving her these constant migraines or tension headaches. The first goal then is to see, well, how much stress has been put on that organ, remove the stress, which in her case is a virus. When we get rid of that, then what do I need to supply food to the heart to improve the muscle of the heart, that specific organ? So we're going to test products that help us, 1, remove the stressor from the body. Then number 2, test products that support and encourage the healing process for the heart. That will speed up her recovery. The faster we can improve the state of the heart, the faster her symptoms will go away. So once we figure out we've got a product here that's going to handle the virus, we then want to know, are there any other products that would enrich the heart's function and speed up the healing? So we're going to come over here and grab a product. And we want to know, for example, here's a product called Cardio Plus, one of my favorites. Actually changed my daughter's life. You'll hear about that later. But I'm just going to test it and I want to see. This is made up of a lot of vitamin B complexes, which is what the heart most often becomes deficient in whenever there is stress on it. So I now want to see, well, what happens if I supply a supplement that provides a lot of vitamin B? Does it improve also the state of the heart? So we're just going to test it and see, does it stay strong? It does. Now we're going to go test the reflex. Good. And it locks. So we now know that she would benefit from, 1, a product that we know will help remove the virus, and number 2, a product that would help actually start the healing process for the organ of the heart itself. And then we would reevaluate her in the future to determine how quickly of a rate of improvement is the heart going through. Because once the heart itself is improved 70 to 80%, then all of our symptoms should disappear. All right, so once we complete our examination and determine exactly which products Stephanie needs to help improve the state of her health, I am, as the doctor, going to put together what's called a report of findings. I'll spend time this evening doing that, but I'm going to go through all of your intake forms, go through your history. We want to make sure that whatever medications, if you're taking them, or other supplements that you're taking, there's no contraindications to taking those products that you tested for in our office with the medications you're currently on and being prescribed by your medical doctors or anyone else. And we want to make sure it's going to be safe and effective for you. Then we're going to put together a report that explains to you what you can expect to experience in the next coming weeks and months to start the healing process. Unfortunately, Most people that come into the office are expecting to have a result that day. They want everything gone. We're impatient. We're Americans. They want things gone, their symptoms gone that day. Is this going to be better tomorrow? Well, the body doesn't heal that way. For example, if you break your arm, which is one organ system in your body, it typically takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal that broken bone. It's not the next day, no matter how bad we want it. It takes longer than that. The body will heal. It just takes some time to do it. So from our standpoint, we have to be able to educate you and prepare you for what you're going to experience along this journey over the next several weeks to months to help you heal the various organs that we find stressed in your body. So tonight I'm going to put together a report. After your exam, Stephanie, you're going to come back to the office and you're going to read that report and make sure that there's no unanswered questions before you begin your program. You don't typically get products the first day you're in our office or walk away with them until we've gone through and researched your products and your medications or any other things you've been doing, and then come back and read that report. We want to make sure that everybody's on the same page before you get started.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
You can come on up. All right, Stephanie, do you have any questions about your exam?
The only question I have is when can I come back so I can get started?
Perfect question. The report of findings we're going to do, when you leave out of this room, you're going to go to the front desk, and Stacy is going to schedule what's called the report of findings visit. That's where you're going to come in. We're going to give you the report. You'll spend 10 to 20 minutes reading through it, and then you're going to come back to the room with me, and we're going to answer any questions you might have after reading that report before you get your product.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does.
Is there any other questions?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Is there any other health questions or issues that we haven't answered?
No.
Or that you didn't mention?
I'm real excited because you answered more than I asked to begin with, so I'm really excited about that.
Well, I'm excited for you. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll see you at your report of findings.
Okay.
I hope this video has answered a lot of your questions. If you have more questions in the exam, please feel free to ask those. We want all those questions answered. You deserve to have those answered. I want them answered when I go to see a healthcare professional. We want to answer those for you too. We're glad that you're here. We're going to answer any questions that you have. Please do ask those before you leave. Don't leave without them.